Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I am here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, messages, and guidance the universe has to share with us, especially in regards to moving forward, trusting, even amidst the storms, struggles, challenges, chaos, because it can really test your faith and you can start to get disheartened and lose hope. So let's see what the universe has to share to help us keep moving forward and stay the course. Okay. So we have Malachite, it's time to transform. Yeah, this very much feels like shedding of the old. Like, this year is the year of the snake in the Chinese New Year zodiac, and like the snake, we can shed our old skin. We can become a new person. We don't have to be, chained and confined to the past. We can choose to be a new person at any point. Any moment, any day can be a fresh start if we choose. And the universe is encouraging us to embrace that transformation, to embrace the change. It can be messy. You won't have all the answers. There's going to be uncertainty, but know that you'll be better for it. You're going to transform into a better person. So trust, because it is going to work out for you. But you can't keep holding yourself back. Like, you can't keep sitting on the fence and having one foot in, one foot out. And, it's like taking a foot. It's sort of like a cat. You know how cats, they love to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out? Like, Suki loves to do that. And, like, it'll be for maybe a minute. And then it's like, oh, time to go back in. And then it's like another minute. Oh, time to go back out. And, like, that's kind of what it feels like energy has been in terms of, moving forward, making decisions, embracing change. Like, you've been, putting yourself out there to change, and then you revert back to the old, and it's like, never mind, it's too scary. Never mind, I'm not sure. Never mind, it's overwhelming with all the uncertainty. And it's like, that's valid. That's part of the human experience. That's, your emotions are valid, but that doesn't mean you want to keep living that way. And the universe is pushing, is like, hey, it's time to transform. You can't keep, holding yourself back. I mean, you can choose to do that. It's just going to get more and more uncomfortable for you. And I think it'll be to the point where if you're continuing to hold yourself back, whether it's because of fear, doubt, insecurity, lack of confidence, whatever, it's going to get more and more uncomfortable to the point where you can't say the same. It's going to be too uncomfortable to say the same, and then the discomfort, the pain, the struggle, whatever it is with change is going to be lesser. So just know that it's time to transform and to embrace it, to allow it to naturally unfold, to trust the process. Yeah. Tourmalated quartz, get out of your own way. Yeah, we can have the nasty habit of self-sabotage, whether intentionally or not, whether consciously or not. Like, when things feel too big, we can self-sabotage, and we can be like, see, I knew it wasn't going to work out. And, like the negative narratives we can tell ourselves, and then that can lead to confirmation bias and, self-fulfilling prophecies. And, you're looking for the failure, so you're looking for the things to go wrong. That's sort of like what happened with my mom. I've shared on this channel before about how my family can be very negative and loves to complain, and it's like, woe is me, victimization kind of thing. So she decided to go on this long-winded rant about how awful her day was. Nothing went right. Everything was going wrong. This, that, and the other. And I won't say that it's not frustrating, the things she was describing, but it also depends on your attitude you bring to it as well, because she got to this point, she was explaining about how her printer stopped working because there was a paper jam, and so she tried to do it and didn't work. She looked up online, and the explanation online was remove the paper. She's like, really? I didn't think of that. And she was trying to watch videos and wasn't getting it, and was very, very frustrated. And she ends up leaving to do something else because she was just at her wit's end and just so angry and frustrated. And it's a good thing to take a break. But turns out the co-owner, because she is now co-owner of a company ever since the former owner ended up passing away due to cancer back in, what was it, 2021? So he ends up going way out of his way to fix the printer. He's literally was taking it all apart. He got the screwdriver because that's the only way you could fix it. And so he's literally meticulously taking it apart piece by piece. This is a big printer for their work, and he ends up taking it all apart, removing the paper, putting it all back together, and then he makes sure it works for her. But instead of, expressing gratitude that he did that, or, appreciation that, she didn't even have to ask. He just went and did it of his own accord. He did it out of the goodness of his heart. Instead of, appreciating any of that or looking at any kind of silver lining or bright side, she just keeps complaining about how much of a hassle it was and how much, everything was going wrong today. And, all these things, so him fixing the printer was another thing going wrong for you? Really? And that's the thing, our narratives and, the self-fulfilling prophecies and the confirmation bias, that can trip us up and get in our own way. We can hold ourselves back. It's like what Uncle Iroh says: if you look for the light, you can often see it, but if you look for the dark, it's all you'll ever see. My mom, even as she's telling that story and ranting and raving and complaining and just going rah, 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 all negative and getting so agitated over it all again, it's just you're missing out on that blessing that he went and did that for you. He's taking time out of his day to do all this for you. He's not, expecting anything out of you in return. You didn't even ask him. He didn't say he was going to do it. He just went and did it. He's trying to be kind to you, and you still can't see it. And it's just really? 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 So yeah, that's the kind of things that can trip us up. We can get in our own way without even realizing it. And if we end up being like my family often is, if someone tries pointing it out to us, we can get in denial. We can bury our head in the sand and double, triple, quadruple down. My family is notorious for this. And so it's just yeah, we got to be open. We got to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear and have the open mind and open heart, because the messaging, the signs, the insights, the guidance, it all comes in. The universe will use anything and everything for our benefit, but we can get in our own way and block ourselves off. We can cut ourselves off so we're not receiving the messages, the insights, the guidance, the signs. And it's just try pointing things out to my mom and my other family members. They don't hear. I try. But it's you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And that's very much the same with us, with the universe. It's it wants to let us have everything we need and want. It wants to give us the signs, the guidance, the messages, the insights. But it can lead us to the water, but it can't make us drink. So we got to get out of our own way. And that can be hard because, you don't want to think oh, I'm the one who's been in my own way. I'm the one who's been sabotaging my goals, my dreams, my happiness, my peace of mind. And it's a hard pill to swallow, with that toxic group and the narcissist. What they did was very, very wrong. It was very hurtful, unacceptable behavior, all of that. But it's a hard pill to swallow, but I have to own up to the fact that I trusted the wrong people. I had a part to play in this. That doesn't excuse their behavior or their choices or their mistreatment and abuse, but I trusted the wrong people. So it's I need to get out of my own way and, not just purely, point fingers at other people look how mean they were. It's yeah, they did what they did. It wasn't okay. But I was the one who metaphorically opened the door and invited them in, So we gotta be careful that we're not giving our power away and recognizing that we do have responsibility and accountability for our actions. That we're the one who gets to choose how we show up in the world. We're the one who gets to choose who, what, where, when, we associate our time, energy, and attention. We can remove ourselves from things, And it can be a hard pill to swallow, but we gotta own up to it, Yeah. We have no longer holds power over you. Dissolve attachment to the past with love. Like, that's the thing. With my family, they're letting the past chain them up and restrict them and restrain them. And they just get trapped by it, and they keep going through the same things over and over and over again. And the universe, it loves us, and it's going to keep giving us the lessons until we learn. And some of us, we really are just, like closing our eyes, blocking our ears, and go, la, 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 can't hear you, whether intentionally or not. And we don't have to have the past hold power over us. We can choose to let go. We can choose to heal. We can choose to get out of our own way and transform. Because we don't have to be the past versions of ourselves. We don't have to keep, self-sabotaging and, going through all these negative self-fulfilling prophecies because of the things we're saying and believing. Our words have power, and it will manifest our reality. So we got to be careful. We don't have to keep going down the same roads. We can move forward instead of, being holed up in the past. Because the thing is, past isn't inherently bad to remember or reflect on or anything like that. You can use it to help guide you, learn the lessons from it. But oftentimes we get stuck in the past and we don't move forward, we get stagnant. So we got to be careful about that. Yeah. Let love be your guide. Live a life from love, guided by love. That's the thing. Looking around a lot of people, there's a lot of living from things aside from love. Like, all these things are coming to light, and people are living from fear, from paranoia, from hatred, from resentment, from doubt, from worry, like all of these negative emotions. Sometimes it's selfishness or, self-righteousness, and like there's so many things. And it's not wrong to have those emotions. Like, it's a natural part of the human experience. So you shouldn't beat yourself up if you have those emotions. But the thing is, you shouldn't let them control you and dictate your path. They can trip us up big time. And if we choose to move from love, like, for instance, like what I was telling you with my mom, it's just like, she could have come from a place of gratitude and love and appreciation that he went out of his way to help her. She could have seen the whole situation in a new light. But instead, she's always fixating on the frustration and, how things are always wrong, quote unquote. And it's like, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy because that's what you're looking for, but okay. But like, if you come from a place of love and gratitude and peace, think about how you will experience life. That's not to say that you'll always be able to maintain that state, because life is full of ups and downs. It's a roller coaster of twists and turns, surprises and challenges, but you can try your best to come from that place. It's going to be night and day difference. Like, my mom could have, been like, okay, and like chosen to walk away instead of trying to force things. Or, okay, what is this trying to show me? Because like, she just went on, and it's like there was a whole long list about everything that apparently went wrong today. It is what it is, but let's try to come from a place of love, a place of, giving and caring and compassion and understanding, because it's going to make the world a much better place to live in if that's the place people are coming from. It's not to say that we'll be perfect and we'll always get it right because we're human, but if that's that's what we strive towards, that's our goal, that's what we're putting the effort into, it's going to make so much of a difference. But in order to do that, we have to let go of the past, because the past is often what holds us back, or fear of the future, or doubt about the future, both of those things. The way is clear. Awaken to the power within you. And that's the thing. It feels like the way is clear because you are looking to go from a place of love, of peace, of, kindness, respect, that kind of energy versus the frantic energy of fear and doubt and worry and anxiety and frustration, like all of that. Think about if you can think clearly when you're in those negative emotions. Can you see things clearly? Does it seem like the path is clear? Odds are not. From all that my experience, it's not usually clear. Although sometimes anger and emotions similar to that can be a good stepping stone from, things like powerlessness and like feeling you're a victim. Like, the righteous anger is like, no, that's wrong. It can get you inspired to act. So it's not to say that negative emotions are always inherently bad. They are guides to help give clarity, but you have this beautiful power within you, and that's the power of things like love and peace and gratitude. Those more positive energies and emotions are going to light the way. They're going to make it so much clearer for you of how to proceed and move forward. And it won't always be easy, it won't always be simple, but in the end, it's going to work out well for you. Okay. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. That's the thing. Where you spend your time, energy, and attention will grow. It will build momentum. The energy you put out will come back to you. You reap what you sow. So, get crystal clear on what you want. And don't have, that apologetic, wishy-washy, uncertain energy about it, because that just muddies up what you are bringing into your existence. If you know what you want, that is perfectly okay. Maybe for instance, I've had friends who, want certain things, like to be a stay-at-home mom and to have multiple children and, have a home that's like theirs. And the people they were seeing weren't about that life. They wanted to, flip houses or whatever. And, they're like, well, we're both going to need to work and, this and the other. And it's like, they weren't on the same page. And, my friends would try to, settle for less and like make compromises, but they truly wanted it. And that's the thing. If you truly want something, don't settle, don't lower your standards, don't, compromise your non-negotiables, because there are people out there who want the same thing as you in regard to things like relationships. So get crystal clear on what you want and don't sacrifice that. Now, maybe in the short term, you may need to make some sacrifice and compromise in terms of like, okay, with today's economy, maybe we need to work up a little bit, and then, once we have a little bit of extra money saved, then it we'll be good to go, like whatever it is. But don't be apologetic about what you want. The universe, the divine, God, it puts that in you for a reason. It's there for an important reason. Don't apologize for that. Don't be wishy-washy. Own it. You're allowed to have what you want in life. That doesn't make you a bad person. Go after what you want and focus on it in a healthy, positive manner to help it grow, to help it flourish. Nurture what you want in life instead of what you aren't looking in life, because so often people like my family will just keep watering and planting seeds of negativity and things they don't want. And then when it comes time around to harvest, they wonder, am I so upset about this harvest time? Why am I getting all this negativity? Why am I getting all these things that I don't want? It's well, you reap what you sow. What were you planting? What were you tending to? What were you watering this whole time? Oh, that's what you were watering on? Well, no wonder that's what you got back. You can't plant, an apple seed and expect to get, a coconut tree. That's not how it works. You gotta plant what you're looking for and then tend to it, and then you will be able to harvest what you want. When I lean toward love, I am led. That's what the universe wants you to know. to move forward, to find your path, you need to lean towards love. You need to be guided by love. You need to come from a place of love. Have an open heart. Now, when I say have an open heart, that does mean giving people grace and chances, but you also need to use discernment so you can show love towards yourself, because there will be people out there who mistreat you, who will take advantage of you, who will have no second thoughts about using you and throwing you out like trash. I've been in those situations before, and recognize that anyone can learn, grow, and improve, but it's a choice. Not everyone's going to choose it. The toxic group of narcissists I escaped from certainly didn't. I kept giving chance after chance and giving all this grace and giving them opportunities and time and support and all these things, but it's like, that's not what they're interested in. And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So sometimes you need to love from a distance. Sometimes you need to take a step back and focus on loving yourself, being kind and respectful to yourself, protecting and preserving your energy, your peace of mind, your well-being. But it's going to make a world of a difference if you can live your life and take the path of love. The path will get clear. You'll be able to move forward so much easier. You might not know now, but you will. That's the thing. The universe wants you to trust, because a lot of times, if we were given all of the pieces right from the start, we may not want to take our journey. Like, if I knew that I was going to enter all those school systems that were full of all these toxic bosses and toxic work environments with all these co-workers who were going to gossip and have all this negative smear campaigns and rumors and all that. Not all the people are bad, mind you. Like, there are plenty of good ones in there, but like, there was a lot of it. Or, that with the toxic group and the narcissist, I wouldn't have wanted to go down that path, because like, I know how hard it was. I know how much hurt it was, but it's like, I got good things out of it too. I did have some fun experiences. I did learn. I did grow. So it's just like, if we knew ahead of time, we may try to avoid certain stops on our journey, certain chapters in our life. So it's okay that we don't have all the answers. It's okay that we don't know now, because we will figure it out. We will learn and grow as we go. It's okay. You can trust. Think of someone very special to you. Now feel yourself bursting with love for them. Now mentally shower, drench, and soak them in that love. Now mentally shower, drench, and soak yourself in my love. Like, you never know who's going to be important to you. Like, I remember my best friend was telling me, so when I was growing up with my elementary school, they didn't have kindergarten, so I ended up going to her elementary school, but I didn't know that at the time for kindergarten. And she was telling me when we became best friends in 6th grade, she's like, oh yeah, I remember you from kindergarten. I hated your guts. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, I couldn't stand you. And I was like, I honestly don't remember much about kindergarten, other than like, there was this one kid who would like scream and throw tantrums all the time, and it was like kind of really stressed me out. But yeah, she was like going on about that, and I was like, you went from hating me to loving me, and like, we're best friends instantaneously. So you never know what will happen. So just have an open heart and open mind and trust. Keep your faith, keep your hope. This is going to work out in the end. You'll find what you seek. That's the thing. Like with my mom, she's keeping her eyes open. She's seeking out all this negativity and all this frustration. So I was like, you're going to find it. Excuse me. It's like what Uncle Ira says. When you look for the light, you can often find it. But when you look for the dark, that's all you'll ever see. So what are you looking for? What are you seeking out? What are you focusing on? Because that's what you're going to find. That's what you're going to find. If you've ever suddenly found and been loved by someone amazing, awesome, fun, and fantastic, chances are astronomical that you will again. If you haven't found such a person, chances are astronomical that you will. That's the thing. There's so many amazing people out there, and sometimes we just haven't interacted with them yet. Like, I remember it took me and my best friend since 6th grade a little bit of time to actually start talking to one another, because we're both very introverted. We're both very quiet. I mean, aside when we're together, because we just get each other and we click. And I think part of it is just like feeling the resonance, the same kind of energy, and the safety and the comfort. Because a lot of people do not have the same kind of energy as us, do not have the same kind of perspective and view of the world that we do. So it's just like, I think that's part of the reason. But like, we literally, I don't know how long it was exactly, but it had been a while, and she was convinced like that I wouldn't like her and all these things. And like, she ended up talking to me about a picture of my cat that was on my health binder, and we instantly became best friends. So it's just like, you never know. You're like, the next chance encounter with you could be the coolest person you've ever met, and can come from unexpected places. But just keep an open heart and open mind, and come from a place of love, because it's going to make a world of a difference. What you give will come back. That's the thing. That's the thing. And, you know, I can hear some people be like, well, I give so much. I'm kind. I'm understanding. I'm honest. I'm respectful. I'm loving. All these things. But these people are mistreating me. And, you know, you can't control other people. You can only control how you choose to show up in the world. And if these people are making those choices to, you know, mistreat people, abuse people, whatever it is, lie to people, deceive people, cheat on you, whatever it is, that's their energy, that's their karma. It's going to come back to them. As Michelle Patterson on Angel Souls likes to say, that energy will come back to them times 10. So don't get too concerned about other people and what they're doing. Be more concerned about yourself, because now more than ever, the energy we put out into the world comes back to us, and it comes back quick. So, you know, if you're always, you know, looking out for other people and being kind and caring and loving and respectful, you're going to have more good energy coming back to you, which is probably why my parents would enter me all the time in things as a kid, and that, like, I would have this great luck. I mean, I'm pretty sure I still do, because I've been entered for things and I've won, but like, without me even trying, and like, I win things. Like, I won all this stuff as a kid, even like in college, like when we had like movie night or like siblings weekend and all that, like, you would be at a chance to get an enter and I'd win that. And so it's just like, you have good energy coming back to you if you put it out. So don't get too tripped up over what other people are doing. They're going to reap what they've sown. And yeah, it can suck when they're giving it to you, because I've been through that with my family, with toxic bosses, with my exes, with that toxic group, like all of that. But in the end, the energy you put out will come back to you. You will find those people who match your energy. So don't worry. When in doubt, give. Let them have it. Surrender. Make peace. When there's no doubt, give. Let them have it. Surrender. Make peace. So it's just, come from a giving heart. Use your discernment, so you know you're not putting yourself in situations where you're going to be, you know, hurt. But come from a place of love and giving and peace and gratitude, because that energy is going to serve you a whole lot more than negativity will. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. Present. May you sense each shiver of the surf. The universe really wants you to get present. It's because a lot of times how we start tripping ourselves up is we're not being present. We're getting too focused on the past or too focused on the future, and we're getting, you know, all anxious and worried, dealing with past hurts, future uncertainty, all those things. But we can get present and look for the good in the now. Not that we need to be blind to, you know, the reality of the situation. There can be things not to our preference, but we can get present and appreciate what we have right now. It's going to do us so much good. It's going to help us move forward, because You won't be so caught up as like, oh man, all this trauma in the past, not that it didn't happen, or oh man, like I don't know how I'm going to make this work in the future. Just take it step by step. Focus on where you are right now and moving your feet forward. One task at a time, one step at a time. You're writing your life story, so you do it at one page at a time. You don't need to bombard yourself with all this heavy burden of the whole thing. Do it piece by piece and be present. Yeah, because the universe is trying to free you. It's trying to free you with love and presence and mindfulness and gratitude and just finding the peace. May your soul sing freely. It wants you to be who you truly are. It doesn't want you to get too worried about other people, what they're doing, what they'll think. How are you going to become the person you want to be in the future? How are you going to get this and the other done? Focus on the here and now. Do what you can right here and now. Take care of yourself. Fill up your cup. Life doesn't have to be so hard. It can be easier said than done, but it's so freeing if we can let go, if we can release our past baggage, our past burdens, our past traumas, if we can come from a place of love, peace, gratitude, just appreciation and affection and just enjoyment for life. Because yeah, there are storms in life. It can get very turbulent. There can be very, very dark nights of the soul. But the dawn always comes back. The sun always comes back. There are rainbows. There's so much beauty in the world. So find more that sets your soul free. Don't get too caught up in, the negativity like my family likes to do. Yeah, moth spirit, surrender now. The universe wants us to surrender. It wants us to allow more, to trust the process, to have faith, to have hope, to not get too caught up and trip ourselves up and get in our own way. We don't have to do it all ourselves. The universe is on our side. It has our back. It's working its magic. So if we can, co-create with the universe instead of fighting against the universe, it's going to make it so much easier. We're going to be so much freer. We're not going to have to do it all on ourselves, not have it all, like the weight of the world on our shoulders. We can co-create. We can collaborate. We can give things over to the universe and surrender to the divine and be like, I need divine intervention. I can't handle it anymore. The burden's too great. Take over, please. We don't have to do it all ourselves. We can choose to surrender. And part of that surrender is reclaiming our power, Panther Spirit, because so often we end up giving our power away without meaning to. And that's how we get in our own way. We can self-sabotage, confirmation bias, those negative narratives, speaking ill over ourselves, and our words have power. Like with my mom, speaking about how nothing ever goes right, everything always goes wrong, that kind of thing. It's like, you're putting out some nasty self-fulfilling prophecies right there. Your words have power, and so do your beliefs and your thoughts, and that's what you're creating. Okay, but we don't have to create like that. We can reclaim our power. We can get more mindful of our energy, and it'll lead to beautiful transformation. As in the beginning of the reading, it's time to transform. Transformation is beautiful, butterfly. We have the moth and the butterfly. Like we are transforming into something new. And it's to bring our ideas to life. Electric eel spirit. We don't have to settle for what life, quote unquote, is to be realistic. It's like, no, we can create our dream life. But we have to do better. We have to learn. We have to grow. We have to improve. We can't be our old self and have our dream life at the same time. We have to shed that life. We have to shed that old skin, those old ways that no longer serve us. Because if you want to keep your old life, stay the same. Stay the same. But in order to have your dream life, to have that, become the best version of yourself, you need to transform. You need to change. You need to grow. It can be messy, but it'll work out in the end, I promise. I promise. Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. And this could also just be the birth of the new you. You could be birthing your new chapter, your next stage of life, the new version of yourself, the you that is, loving and full of gratitude and is open and, free. You're present, you're mindful. You're not getting in your old way anymore. You're healing yourself and reclaiming your power. So, that could be what is being born right now. Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. So this feels like you are kind of making your own cozy nest and finding the people that will support you, the people that have the same kind of energy as you. And that could mean, you're finding new friends. It could mean that you have a new romantic partner. It could mean you're actually building and creating that family, like having children. Like, there's so many different ways. But this is it feels like this is one of the new layers of foundation for you, is that loving, supportive family that actually has your back. And it's coming from a place of love, Yeah. Archway. New opportunities, possibilities, and paths are opening up. And it's because you are coming from a new place. You are coming from a place of love. You are letting go of the old. You're dissolving it. You're transforming. You're getting out of your own way. And you're realizing where you spend your time, energy, attention will grow. It will come back to you. You reap what you sow. So you are having all these new blessings and opportunities and possibilities open up to you because you're changed. You're new. You've learned. You've grown, so you can do better. You know better, so you do better. Yeah, torch. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Like, all of this learning and growing and improvement is lighting the way. It's clearing the path for you so you can move forward, so that you can trust, so you can keep your hope and faith alive. You understand now, and you'll never go back to the way you used to be. You're changed. Dolphin. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past, and it could be, for instance, like if you have been treating all these people with kindness, love, respect, understanding, compassion, and all these people have wronged you, it could be that all those seeds that you've sown in the past, all that energy you put out in the past, people who didn't appreciate it, who took advantage of whatever, it's all coming back to you, because the energy you put out in the world does come back to you. And, you're going to benefit from it. So don't worry if, it wasn't quite the way you thought it would be, because it's all working out in your favor, and the universe wastes nothing. Everything is going to work out in the end. Trust, and the path is clearing for you. So keep moving forward, no matter how small your steps are. Even if you have to take breaks and rest, you're going to make it. You're going to do just fine. It's all working out for you, and the universe is guiding you every step of the way and protecting you and nurturing you. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.